Hello, everyone listening again to Books the Paranormal podcast on YouTube. We're here today with Mel. Is it Melody, is it? Correct.
Yes. Yes, it
Melody
is.
from Mel's Paranormal Investigations. So, Mel, it's not going to be a really long one. It's midweek for us whilst we're recording. So let's just start off. For the listeners that are seeing you and meeting you for the first time, can you explain who you are, where you're from, and how you got into the paranormal world, really?
Absolutely. I'm Melody, and I'm a mother to 4 kids. And I got into the paranormal because when I was younger, young teen, I had some paranormal experiences, and I still have them every once in a while today. So I come up with a mother-daughter team, and I had spirit seekers at one point, but I wanted something more personal, so I come up with MPI.
Okay. And how's working with your daughter compared to like with a normal team? Would you say is there a big difference? Do you feel like, I don't know, I suppose you feel like you've got more trust in your daughter than you have people around you generally?
Yes, I do.
Um,
Yeah, I enjoy being with her. And sometimes, like, she'll come up with something, like, say, I'll be doing one thing, she'll go off and do another to try to get evidence.
yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously you mentioned just then about having experiences since you were a teenager. So what was the very first experience that you'd say really made you believe that there was something like beyond our understanding out there?
Well, we lived in an apartment, and it was haunted. Me and my mom was sitting at the table eating breakfast. Now, we were the only two in that place. And I happened to look up, and there was a black figure looking at us around the corner from the living room. I slowly turned to my mom. I said, "Do you see that?" I turned and looked. She said, "Yes." I turned to look, and it's gone. And then we had knocking in my bedroom wall. So me and my two stepsisters, we decided to, ask questions. Like one knock for yes, two for no, and it would answer us right back. There were voices. There was, like, one time I was laying in bed, a couch bed with my stepsisters. We heard somebody say, "Hey, you quit it. Run down the stairs and run back up." And now previously before that, my stepsister heard the same thing, but I didn't believe her, so I made fun of her. And then later that night, that's when I heard it.
Wow, so
So,
so it was all
yeah.
of you, including
Oh,
your
yeah.
mother as well, hearing seeing the same
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
Hmm. That was one question I was going to ask you. Like, how did your family react to your experiences growing up? But you kind of just answered that already. They had the same experiences.
Hmm.
Were were any of them like affected, like more so than obviously you're really into the paranormal? Did it scare any of your family members, like your mother or your sisters? Did anything happen to them that that put the fear into them? Really?
No, not really. We were more like curious than anything. Because it really didn't seem like it had like a mean intention. It was just
Okay.
kind of like playing around.
Even though, yeah, so I'm just thinking back to what you just said there about you heard, was it the spirit you saw come downstairs, said something to you, and ran back upstairs? Is
Yeah,
that
yes.
so? You
So, yeah, it was really weird. I don't know. It was just it was just really weird.
Yeah, that is strange. So did you? Was it just like voice and noise? Did you not see anything? Or
Yeah, the only thing we saw was that black figure that one day, and then most of the time it was just like noises, footsteps, like whisperings, and then the knocking in my wall.
okay, I mean, is this like just your old family home growing up, or did your family still live there?
No, we've moved out of it years ago.
Wow.
But I go by there often, and I think about who's living in there. Are they experiencing what I've experienced, and
Yeah,
that?
that's what I was thinking. Whether they're still experiencing it, and that it would prove then is it actually an haunted house, or were these things happening because it was you guys, linked onto you as a family?
That's
Would
true.
would be quite interesting to know. So, like I said, I've wrote a few questions down. Just now, you spoke about the knocking on your bedroom walls and asking questions with like one knock for yes, two for no. Can you take us back to that time and describe like what was happening? Because I can't imagine for like a first experience, like hearing knocking, you'd just randomly start saying that. So, was it something that progressed over time? Was it knocking getting louder and louder? Was it more frequent? Was it something trying to get your attention, do you think?
I think it was something trying to get our attention because at first, when we heard the knocking, we really didn't pay too much attention to it. But then it would progress more. So that's when we decided, oh, we're going to ask questions and see what happens. And sure enough, it would answer us back.
All right. So, did it answer back with anything other than like the knocking? Were you just asking it to knock, or were you saying like, can you open this door? Can you do more? Can you show us more? Was
Mm,
that as like intense as it got? Would you say?
That was about as intense as it got. We asked it like questions: "Who are you? Are you a ghost?" That kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've heard the knocking, you've heard the talking, you've seen the black figure like with your own eyes. Your family's seen it. It's not just yourself. Wh- Which of those, if any, of those experiences would you say like affected you the most? I want to say emotionally, but is there anything from that time in your life where that really stood out for you that you always think of when someone asks you about a paranormal experience?
Yeah, the black figure and how it would respond to you.
And how often did you see that black figure? Was it just that one time, or
Just that one time. And then another time recently, probably like a year ago, I was exploring this abandoned bed and breakfast. And I was panning with my phone video, and we were checking things out, going through the whole place. And I didn't see anything at the time as I was going through. Later on, I was going through the video and I had caught another black figure peering around from a bathroom area.
wow?
Yeah.
Uh, Did anyone outside of your immediate family like experience this in your home, or was it literally just your family?
No, I don't think so. I
Mm,
haven't heard anything. Nobody's told me anything. I know, I think it was when before I was born, my mom had experiences herself. She was waiting for my dad to come home, and she would hear the cassette tapes playing, moving around. So she would think dad was home, and she'd go look and he's not there. And then she would always find these wooden matches, and they didn't use the wooden matches, but they would find these wooden matches already burnt, and they would be all over the hall.
that's mad, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you're finding things that like didn't even exist in your home, basically.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's strange. Definitely
it
sounds
is.
like it's something trying to get your attention, maybe to tell you something, to show you something. Maybe there's something in that house that you should have found that it was trying to. Yeah, it would really bug me. I really would have to go knock in the door of the house and just see if anything's still happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to, but I'm kind of shy and nervous about that. I
yeah,
think that they would probably look down at me like, "Why are you here?" type of thing. Maybe they don't believe. I don't know.
yeah. And not only that, if anything does start happening after you've knocked the door, it's your fault. So
Yeah,
you never hear the end of it.
that's true.
Okay, so yeah, what have I wrote? So
Now, how about you? Have you had any experiences?
yeah, I had a lot. I used to before I started doing this, I was in a team on. We used to go live on Facebook 3, 4 times a week, and we had a big audience, a big following. Um, yeah, I mean, I say we used to do a lot of abandoned places, so we were always picking stuff up on the EVPs. Things were moving, doors opening, candles being blown out, being lit back up again. My personal experience, I always come back to when I was living at my brother's home. Before 'cause he lives in America, so it's before he moved over there. So I was living in his home, and the back of my sofa, my sofa at the time, my son's old fire truck was there, and he had I mean, it hadn't been touched for like years and years. It was broken as far as we know. And it was just shoved in a bag. And all of a sudden, the fire truck started going off, the sirens. I was like, well, I couldn't understand what it was. Anyway, realised what it was. Couldn't understand how it came on, but we turned it off. And about a couple of minutes later, the actual fire alarm was going off in the home, like the smoke alarm. So that went off. That was a bit crazy. Turned that off. Just before going to bed, I smell burning. And normally I turn the TV off with a remote. But for some reason, checked the back of the TV and the plug socket had all smelted. It was all melted in. So, I mean, it's crazy really because if I hadn't have checked that, the fire alarm, well, the fire truck, I look at it as it was a warning,
Mhm.
something warning me saying, look, you've got to check this. The fire alarm going off, I look at that as a warning, but also at the same time, I took the batteries out when I checked it because I thought it was faulty. So I look at the fire truck as a warning. I look at the fire alarm as something negative, getting me to take them batteries out. And it's just pure luck that I checked beyond the TV because I'd have had no fire alarm. I'd have just burnt in my sleep, really.
Wow.
So,
That
yeah,
is
that was a
crazy.
that was a mad experience. And it's something that I didn't even look back on. Like at the time, I thought nothing of it, but the more and more I got into the paranormal, the more it's made me think this is kind of all linking up here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I now that I'm older and more into the paranormal and doing more research and that, I wish I could have incorporated stuff that I know now when I was younger. But
yeah,
when you're younger, you're not thinking into details and everything.
mm,
Like I said, I know a lot more about it now and I'm collecting my own equipment and stuff like that.
no, that's it. All you really need is a camera, your EVP,
Yep.
ask questions and listen. It's like when I first went over to America to my brother's, we visited the Villisca House. Yeah, the Villisca Arts murder house, isn't it? The Asher Walton House, the McIntyre Villa. They were all good places, but it was all before I really got into the paranormal. So I wish I was more into it back then, and I would have investigated rather than just touring. Really, it would have been really good to do. But jumping back to yourself, so what inspired the transition from Spirit Seekers to Mel's Paranormal Investigations? I know you said it was to like work with your daughter more so, but what? I mean, I'm guessing you had other team members. What made you want to call an end to all that?
No, I didn't have any other team members. Really, I got from Facebook that they would say I was copying somebody else. So they blocked my account. And I
Right.
tried to get out of it and nobody would respond back to me. So I said, well, you know what? I'll fix that and I'll come back even stronger and I will do something different. And I come up with MPI. So, like I said, it'd be more
Yeah.
personal and it's mine, it's not going to be, copying anybody else.
It is annoying when they do stuff like that. Like I say, with my old team on Facebook, we had 12K followers, every live, anywhere between 90 to 2,000 people watching a live each time.
Mhm.
And for years, all our we loved Facebook lives because it kept your videos. So I had a massive catalogue on Facebook. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they deleted everything and only keep them for like 31 days now. And after losing all that, I thought, I can't be arsed no more after
Yeah.
all that. Well, yeah, that was different. Uh, Making the team name, was it more personal an important step in defining like your identity as investigators? Is there any reasoning beyond the name itself? Obviously,
No.
Mel thoughts.
Yep. Yeah. I like my nickname, Mel. And so I just come up, hey, I'm doing paranormal investigations and just put it all together.
Okay, and you said it's been for what 4 or 5 years you've been doing it now.
Yes.
Yeah. What have you learned about the paranormal community over that time?
Um, wow, I've learned like automatic writing and different techniques that they use out there. And I want the equipment, but then everybody, like you said, you only need your phone and EVPs and that. And I don't know, there's just a lot out there.
There is, there really is,
Mhm.
and
I'm
you,
still
you
learning, you know?
you've got to be careful as well, especially when you say like you're still learning, because there's a lot of money grab things
Yes,
out there that there's a lot of things you can pay a fortune for that you don't need. Do you
that's
know what I
true.
mean? Like I've seen EVPs that I've paid £7 for from Amazon, and I've seen the same one for £120. Yeah, yeah. There's really no difference. They do the same job. So
That's true.
if I could advise one thing to you, it'd just be cautious with what you buy. And yeah, K2 recorder, maybe two phones if you've got a spare one. Get one filming that side, one this side, and yeah, just enjoy it more than anything. And the more you enjoy it, and the less you focus on what you've got around you, what you've got to do, you're running backwards and forwards. You miss out on a lot of stuff.
That's
I
true.
find it's better just to sit there, listen, do nothing other than ask questions. Yeah. So you said you're looking for evidence, knowledge, and answers rather than drama. You said in the email that you sent me. So what does credible evidence mean to you? Like you
I'd
see
like
a lot of people posting stuff on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, I'd like to be able, like you said, the EVPs, but actual proof on like video.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. Have you captured anything so far yourself that you can't explain, like whether it be EVP or?
Yes, I've caught a few EVPs, and I've wrote them down, and I even wrote the timestamps down and that. But I want to go through all my recordings again and
Yeah.
make sure, and maybe do another video with them on there.
That can be the hardest thing that can, because you can enjoy the investigation, but then a lot of teams don't review the evidence properly. But
Hmm.
the following day or two should be like, it's working a full-time shift. You've got to review all your evidence, all the EVPs. There's no point skipping to parts where you think might be good, because the quiet parts in between that you thought were boring are probably where you've picked something up.
Hmm.
So it's good to hear that people still actually review stuff properly.
And then, like
Um,
recently, what would you say about a month ago that we had investigated the cemetery up there? We heard the footsteps. Remember the walking in the leaves? I feel like that would have been a little bit longer though. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we investigated this one cemetery, and I seen a figures there, and I don't know if I caught it anything. I got to go over it. Anyway, we were all out there, and we're standing there talking, asking questions, and all of a sudden we heard something walking through the leaves. Maybe it was an animal, but it just seemed kind of odd how, at the time we're doing investigation,
that's when
something
you
is
hear
walking
it.
around. And it stopped for a few minutes, and then it started again. It was like somebody was taking their time and like kind of like spying. Yeah, I
Mm.
think it was like a couple months ago, maybe. Mhm.
So
My
is it?
daughter's with me. Hi.
Hello, you okay? So it's just the two of you then that do the
Yep.
investigations.
Yep.
That's it. I always say I've been with teams where there's 10 people, there's 5 people. The less, the better. The
I
less
agree.
noise, the less things you got. For me, an ideal team. Well, it's good to have a big team, but the ideal people on the investigation, 3 to 4 maximum. Because like I say to people, you've always got the one that listens, you got the one that don't shut up, you got the one that doesn't believe in anything, you got the one that believes in everything, and there's too much going on in one room. So being the two of you, that is ideal. Like you just mentioned that leave moment, the Leafs. Now, if there's one other person, they'd probably be dismissing it and saying, "Well, it could be this, it could be that." And I love skeptics. I love people telling me what it could be. I really do. But I hate it when it's during the investigation. Don't ruin my vibe. Tell me at the end, and then we'll discuss it. Then we'll check back. That's what it could have been. It could be a window that was open, and you know. But there's nothing grinds my gears more than people dismissing stuff without 100% knowing.
I agree. I agree.
Mm.
And then another time, my dad also joins me every once in a while, and he's
Okay.
got his own little thing. And we were out exploring what they call Lover's Lane. It's by my grandparents' old place. And it's just like a little walkway that goes up, and then there's like a clearing. And there's things that happen. And one time we were doing an investigation and we were up there, and there was like rocks clanging against other rocks.
Oh.
And then we heard like a voice. What did it say?
It said hey.
Hey.
It was a loud, loud and clear hey in a female voice.
Yeah, it was a loud shout. And I'm like, did you hear that? And between me and my dad and my daughter, we all heard it. And then I don't know if it was the same day or another time that we went up there, but
I think it was the second day about the fire.
okay, yeah. And we heard a fire, or we seen a fire. First, we started smelling the smoke. And then I'm like, Dad, I see the smoke. And I'm like trying to look for it. And then Barb, my daughter, she hollers over to me. She's like, Mom, there's a fire down there. So I'm like looking, and I'm trying to get it on the video. And I don't know if I got it, but I believe my dad did. And as soon as we discovered it, it just disappeared. So it lasted for like 10 minutes.
You saw the fire, but the closer you got to it, it was gone.
Yeah. Yep.
With no ash, no like remembrance, nothing there.
No.
Strange, isn't it? Again, it's like something trying to show you something.
Yes.
Perhaps it's something to do with you. Perhaps something's just linked to you. It's trying to show you things and point you in different directions. So what actually, because obviously you had the experiences at your family home as a kid. What got your daughter into it? Was it yourself, or has she has experiences as well?
Yeah, she said she's had a couple experiences. I do know when she was really little, she would talk about, like, she'd just be in there playing, and then I would listen. And she would have like herself a little family. It would be like a woman and a man, and how many kids? Like 2 kids.
Yeah.
And she would be sitting there talking to them, and I would like peer in. I'm like, who are you talking to? And she would tell me that's who she was talking to. And I don't know. It was really weird.
Well,
What was your other experiences?
The first one, it was like a shadow figure, and it was like at one of our like old place where we lived. And I was like laying on my bed, and it was like nighttime, but our hall light was still on. And there was this chair that my mom used to have that sat in my room, and I was like looking, and like you can see underneath the chair, but when I looked, it was just black. It was like a black figure was just like sitting on the floor watching me. So I looked towards my closet and looked back, and it was gone.
That's crazy, isn't it? Trying to think of how to even explain that. Would it almost be like if you said there's a black dog sat under the chair, like that sort of, so you
Something
couldn't see
like
through
that,
it at all?
yeah. Yep, it was something like I didn't know what it was. It just kind of scared me, and I freaked out a little, and I quickly looked towards my closet and looked back, and it was just gone.
That's mad.
So,
Yeah.
Helen might actually be a ghost dog.
and then I've had like 2 experiences where I've heard like my mom call my name before, and I went and asked them like, "Mom, did you call my name?" She's like, "No, why?" And I'm like, "I could have sworn I heard you call my name." The second time it happened, it sounded like her boyfriend calling me. So I went downstairs and asked him like, "Hey, did you say my name?" And he said no, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
That's another thing that happens to me quite often. Is I'll hear voices calling me, and there's nobody there.
Do you go to it like where you heard it from? Is it voices where like it's a distance so you can hear where it's coming from? Have you ever tried going towards the voices maybe?
Yeah, I have. Usually they're pretty loud. They're close. Like one
Yeah.
other time, I thought it was my daughter's best friend, and she was coming down the stairs. So I'd go look. There's nothing there. And it was plain as day. It was loud, and I thought she was coming down the stairs to see me.
Next time you hear something like that, I suppose it's always good to have an EVP on you. Next time you hear anything, get the EVP, press record, leave the room or the house for 5-10 minutes, come back and just listen. There might be something that's, like residual energy. That's something that used to happen there at that point in time years ago, and they're just replaying it. Perhaps they think you're someone else. And perhaps it's something, like I said, that's linked to you and your family, your daughter, and it's just calling out to you to try and get you to open up your senses and listen to it.
Okay. I'll
I
keep
mean,
an eye out and try
you,
that.
you might have more about you than you think, like like mediumship wise. You might have, who knows? It's worth just try that EVP thing though, in case something is trying to talk to you.
I will, definitely.
It's worth doing. So we'll wrap up soon, 'cause I know that you've got things to do. What time is it over there for you? It's like 1 o'clock or something.
25.
2:25.
2:25. Yeah, it's what 7:25 here. So I'm looking forward to having something to eat after work anyway.
Oh, I
So
bet. Oh, I'm so sorry.
well, no, I'd rather do it in the wheel. We could record so many different podcasts, and all it takes, I can't even explain. I lose my edge of how much is going on at the minute. But jumping back to it, is there any dream locations or dream places you'd like to go to, paranormal wise?
I would like to investigate um the Penhurst Asylum. I want to go back and do that. I didn't get to go through it all like I wanted to. Because there was like so many people. It was like some sort of event that was going on. So I really didn't get to do a whole lot.
Was there like a Paracon or something there recently? 'Cause I
Yes,
keep seeing.
yes.
Yeah, I follow Potter's Paranormal Project, Roger, on
Yeah.
Facebook. He's a really good guy. I'm sure he went there. I'm sure it was that place. That rings a bell.
hmm
Um,
Then there's another place. What was that one that I like to go up to? It's up in Geneva. Something castle. Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh my gosh. But anyways, ghost hunters went and investigated that. And I would love to go and investigate there. There's like so many places I want to go.
The one place my brother's been to a few times, which I'd like to go to, is Alcatraz. I'd love to get to Alcatraz.
Yeah, that
That'd
would
be
be
really
cool.
interesting. Especially,
Belhurst Castle is the one that I was thinking about.
right. 'Cause you don't have a lot of castles over there, do you?
No.
No. Say 5-minute walk wherever you are in England. There's a castle. There's a castle log on every
Oh,
corner. It's crazy.
wow, that is awesome.
There's one that I could walk to, my local one, Dudley Castle, in about 15-20 minutes, and it's a castle linked on with a zoo now. Yeah, there's a lot. So I've just got 4 more questions I just want to run through. After everything you've experienced, what do you personally believe ghosts or spirits actually are? How would you define them? Like, some people say they're just energy. Other people think they are like souls. And I mean, what would you kind of say they are?
I feel that they're actual spirits from people and passing on. Maybe they're stuck somehow. Maybe, like you said, they're like a residual and they run on repeat all the time.
Yeah,
Um, and maybe an energy type of thing. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I think they're trying to reach out to you.
it can't just be repeat, can it? Otherwise, they wouldn't be answering our questions that we ask them. So there's got to be a
True.
mixture of both, I guess. But I get what you're saying. I kind of think the same. And do you think the paranormal is something that can eventually scientifically be understood?
At some point.
Yeah. You think so? Yeah,
Mm,
maybe at some point, but maybe there'll always be questions because and that's kind of a hard question because they are coming up with more and more new technology too, you
hmm
know. But maybe there'll be some, but everybody experiences things differently.
I mean, I think there will be. I don't think it'll be like in our lifetime. I think it'll be talking like a long time down the line. But I reckon it'll be bad because AI and all this as technology evolves. In my head, I can just see it being like they managed to find a way into that realm, and that could be bad for everyone if there's a doorway. You know what I mean?
True.
You got
True.
bad going in, bad coming out. It's a bit like Insidious and the Conjuring type of style. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to be careful when you're dealing with that.
no, definitely. And what would you say to skeptics who believe every paranormal experience as a conventional explanation?
Yeah, take them ghost hunting. My daughter said, take them ghost hunting.
Yeah, take them back to
Let
your
them
old house.
experience it themselves.
True, yes.
Make them spend the night in your old house. See what they think.
There you go.
And finally, if there is one story or experience you've never had the chance to fully share, what would you like our listeners to hear today? Would it be? Well, I'm guessing you've
Um,
already answered that one at the start, didn't you? About like
yeah,
your
yeah,
childhood.
pretty much. Like I said, I've had a lot of experiences. Like another time I was working in a nursing facility as a housekeeper. I would see figures there and I would hear voices through there. And I talked to this one woman. She claimed she was a psychic. Not sure if it was true, but she did tell me that I thought was something true was that their family members coming down to get these family members because when I see these figures, a resident would pass on.
Okay, strange.
Yeah.
So again, that should make you think: is there something inside you that you're not opening yourself up to? 'Cause that's like a bit of an ability itself, really. You've seen these figures, and then that's happening. You know, it's worth experimenting with.
Yep.
Maybe ask a few more questions.
Yeah,
Well, no, is there anything you'd like to
definitely.
say or add before we wrap up?
No, but thank you for having me on your
No,
show.
no. Thank you for coming on. And if people want to check out your Facebook page, is it just Facebook, or have you got a YouTube or anything like that?
I have Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, and is it the same name?
Yes.
So Mel's Paranormal Investigations on YouTube and Facebook. Awesome.
Yes, you got it.
So this will drop on Sunday this week, 5 p.m. GMT. If you can, when it is out or at a later date, just drop your links or whatever you want to share into the comments on that video, and then at least people can easily find it and click onto it. But no,
Okay.
thank
Sounds
you for
good.
coming on and enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll
Yeah,
chat soon.
thank you.
Thank you. We'll speak to you soon.
I will. You as well. Stay cool.